Hey guys, what's up? We have a 2012 Jeep Liberty here in the garage, and we're getting ready to replace the front brake caliper on it. We're going to show you how it's done.
Okay, so we have our 2012 Jeep Liberty here, and we, as the customer is driving the car and it's getting hotter, it's a friend of ours, and you know, the wheel is, she can smell some smoke on the wheel. So, you know, the brake pads are in good shape, but we found that the wheel was dragging when we, you know, I put it up in the air, and all the wheels spin free. The right front spins free, but this one's dragging. So, you know, I released the caliper pins to make sure that I didn't have the caliper pins were frozen and hung up on it. And I rolled it back and I put the screwdriver in here and I started pressing the caliper piston back. And it's very, very difficult. It should go smooth. So, you know, we took the caliper off and the caliper pins are free. So we've got a back caliper. So what we've done is, we're going to change the caliper and we get a new bracket. We're just going to remove it and get our brake pads off, okay, so we can reuse the brake pads. But so we pinched off our pressure line going to the brake line, going to the caliper. That has a 9/16 nut on it on the back that we're going to crack loose. And then we're going to take this caliper off. So we have two 21mm bolts holding the bracket on, and these are two 13mm bolts for the caliper pins. So we can start in a bunch of different ways here. We can take the brake line off first, and I've cracked these caliper pins loose. So we got this. So I backed the bolt off, and see how you can move the caliper pin, the caliper? So you know you don't have a pin problem. What you're having a problem with is the fact that the piston is hanging up, it's pushing out, and it's just not coming back. So if we grab the caliper now, see how our pins are both moving on the top and the bottom? So we know our pins aren't our issue, it's this piston that is our issue. So we're going to remove the line from the caliper right now, which is a 15mm. And it's easier to crack this line loose when you have the caliper still on there. Otherwise you're trying it, the caliper's floating around. So we're going to take this off, and we can take the brake line. Now we pinched the line off, so we don't have to worry about a bunch of fluid coming out. And we'll get new seal washers when we get the caliper. So we'll take that off there. Caliper seems, the line is a little stuck to it, and it's been on there for years. Okay, there it goes. So we're not going to lose too much fluid here now. So we got 21mm for the caliper bracket. And we'll crack those loose. Got one up here. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the caliper off right now because, you know, I'm going to reuse these brake pads. They're in good condition, so I'm not going to get rid of those. So my caliper is off now. Just going to drain the remaining fluid out of it as I can. Okay, let me set this on the bench, and then we're going to take our brake pads out. We'll slide these off. And I could just use the little pry bar here to slide these out. Slip them out. And we're going to lubricate all of this stuff out over again so that we can, you know, all our slides like we normally do. Take this off. See, the brake pads are in good condition. So now I'm getting a new bracket with my caliper. So I can just take these 21s off. This bottom one seems a little snug still. Okay. So we're going to reuse these bolts. All right, we'll get this off. I'm just gonna go pop these clips out. We should get new ones anyways, but I'm gonna take them off just in case. And I'm gonna put the caliper bracket back on the arm because we're getting all this new, and this is a core. So we got our new caliper back from the parts store, and we wanted to do a quick exchange, so we did that. So we just, they put some Loctite on these. We just zipped these off with our 13 millimeter, and we have to hold this side with a wrench to get this off. And it's 15. Not really sure why they Loctite them, but okay. So get this off, and we're going to load up our caliper right now. So we've got new brake clips that they gave us here. So we're going to roll our clip in, try not to cut our finger. Okay. These clips can be pretty sharp. So the clip end goes on the outside. So you're going to roll this in. So you got the little edge over here. You make sure they sit down flat. This one doesn't look like it's really sitting down flat very well. So you gotta be careful with these. Like I said, they're pretty sharp. Okay. All right, see how flat it's sitting? That's what you want right there. So let's get this one. Okay, that was good. We get this one in here. Okay, try and catch the inside one first, and then you can roll the clip over. All right, so we've got our lube. Why is it purple? I don't know. It's usually blue. Now, we always, even though we're getting a new bracket, we're always amazed at how kind of thin they are with the lube. So, it's kind of slippery right now, so we're going to grab it with some vice grips. I want to make sure this thing has enough caliper pin lube on it. Pull it out, you know.
It's not a whole lot on there. Can you spare it?
No, they can't spare it. So we're going to just, you know, a lot of heat in the front of these. You want to build this up.
You don't want your brand new caliper locking up like the old one, so.
Right, so we like to just make sure that everything's minimalistic now. So we like to put a little more on, you know.
I think the assembly line guys dipped it in a jar of Vaseline and tossed it in there.
See you later.
Kick it down the road.
Okay, so we have our brake pads. We're going to go grab our two brake pads, come back and slip them in here. We've got the one that's on the piston side, so we know that that's this side right here. So we're going to try and slip these into place and try and roll them in. See if that's going to, well, I have the tab here, so I might roll them in the opposite way. Okay, you see how they're sliding? That's what you want. And then we're gonna slip this like this. Okay, and these are sliding nice, and that's what you want. Okay, so we can go over and we can bolt this back onto the vehicle now. We're gonna bolt the bracket back on. Now, we've been in here before. We did brake pads on it. We never seized all our stuff already. So, but you know, you never kind of know when a caliper is gonna go bad. And I just squished them. And then I wanna line up my bolt. Okay, get that one lined up. Let's get this one lined up. Boy, I didn't think I caught it at first.
I know, huh?
That's a long bolt.
This is a long bolt.
They're fine machine threads.
Jesus, here comes Brian.
Oh boy, here comes trouble.
Here goes the neighborhood.
Now you might be saying, how come you're not using that new fancy electric ratchet? And you know what? You're right. I probably should be using it on that, but I'm not. Okay, these are nice and tight. Put a little never sees on these. I don't think you need Loctite on them, but okay. All right, so we got our caliper here, and we've got our surface clean where the bleeder, the line bolt's going to go to. You can slide this in place, and you know, one thing that I didn't do that I'm going to do, and I am always talking about it, we like to put a little on the boot here. It is moist right now, but we're going to put a little extra of the caliper pin lube here and here just to keep this boot moist. I've got a little on the caliper and on the inside spots right there. So we can slide this into place, line up our pins. We got our bolts here. And we have to hold these with the wrench, so we're probably gonna have to do the same thing. Just wanna make sure that we get them started good. So, and I'm gonna go get that 15mm wrench and we'll start snugging these down. Snug. My wrench is a little thick. Get this one snug first. Okay, that was tight. Let's get this one tight. Okay. All right, so now we just got to put our line on. So you want to make sure that the line is clean on both sides here. So we're going to get a rag and clean it. It's pretty clean. We still got our washer there.
Yeah, I saw that.
So we can
put that off.
A little screwdriver. Put that right up. I got a whole bag of them, Brian. Okay. Okay, so we dry that side. Okay, that side's clean. Now we've got our two new seal washers here. I'm gonna come through. Got one on this side, and look at that. I put it on backwards.
Did you really?
Okay. Okay. So it goes like this.
So one washer will go between the caliper and the block, and then the other washer will go between the bolt head and the other side of the block.
And this looks like it's a different size than what we had. I gotta go find out what size it is from the manufacturer. It looks a little smaller, is it? We had a 15, this is too big. Let's see, this is our 13. And that's too big, so it looks like a 12. Second thoughts, I thought it was a 7/16. Kaboom, it is. So 11 millimeter. And we're gonna snug this up now. And you don't have to kill this, you're just gonna tighten it, snug it. And that's it. And after we bleed the brakes, now, you know, technically we pinched the system off here, so we don't have any air going anywhere. So we're gonna open this bleeder valve and we're gonna let this thing gravity bleed a little bit, okay? And then we're gonna bleed the brake. And we really only have to bleed this one wheel because we didn't let any air get anywhere else. Okay, so we're gonna crack the bleeder loose and we're gonna take the wrench off, the pliers off. And in a couple minutes, this is gonna start dripping, and then we're gonna close it and we're gonna bleed the brakes. And you've got a bunch of videos out on bleeding brakes.
Yeah, we've got a video on the channel. I'll throw a link in the description of this one on how to bleed your brakes. Yeah. Basically, you need two people for the most part. One guy will get inside the vehicle, pump up the brakes, let's firm. Watch the video to show you how to do it.
And the procedure is the same, you know, on the other side. And basically, as far as the brake job goes, I mean, we show you how to put the brake pads in the bar. And if you didn't have a brand new bar, we've showed you in previous videos how you run the file across, you know, the bar where the brake pads sit in there, so your clips sit down tight. You know, these bars will get rusty and the rust swells up, so you want to just give it a quick file and file it off. We didn't have to do any of that because we got a new bar here. So we've got our 21 millimeter bolts tight, 2 13s tight, and our brake pads are all lubricated. We lubed the piston, and we're just waiting for this thing to start dripping. And as soon as it does, we'll close it and we'll bleed the brakes. Do the same procedure on the other side.